We've talked about what not to do when four-wheel driving in sand. Now it's time what not to do when four-wheel driving in mud. Here it is. Alright, check this out. When you are presented with big ruts water, it is so tempted to go down the side. Like, you can see, of course I've got other options here, but you think, oh, shall I straddle the side so I don't go into the deep ruts? I can tell you the softest part of a track like this is the side bits. There's a much better chance that you go into the deep holes as in the ruts, and underneath that water somewhere there's a hard base that you can get traction on. If you go to either side, guaranteed that's going to be really soft and you're going to get stuck. I'll show you what I mean.
That is so funny.
You're washing the car.
What not to do when four-wheel driving in mud. Sorry for the wind. Yes, it's very, very windy, but I needed to get out the car to show you this. If you're going through mud, before you do it, you need to know where your alternator is. Why? Because there's brushes in an alternator, and that's what turns around and makes electricity, kind of. If there's mud between the coils and the brushes, it can't make electricity, and your car needs electricity to run, and it's going to go. You'll see the battery light come on first, and then sooner or later it'll just run out of power and die. So when you go through really deep mud, and probably deeper than some of this stuff here, know where your alternator is and know where the closest hose is, because you want to get as much water into that alternator as possible. If it's a Y62, it's just inside the inner guard here. So if you move that inner guard out the way, the alternator's right behind it, and you can get your hose in there and you just flush that baby as much as you can. Alright, number plate. A lot of people, they screw the number plate in at the top. As soon as you go through deep water or mud, this will fold up and you'll stuff your number plate. Screw it in from the bottom, peeps. Lockers or traction control? Well, it doesn't really matter that much, but probably lockers. You want to get everything moving forward as possible, and you don't want your engine cutting out or losing any sort of power. Also, if you finding you're starting to lose traction, you can do that wheel wiggle and try and bite into the side of the ruts, and that might give you just enough to get through it. Bit of fun to be had here. Your aircon. Before you go through deep mud, turn the aircon off. There's a fan spinning in there, and guess what? It doesn't spin very well in deep mud. You'll stuff it up. Just turn it off. I know this is kind of obvious, but some people still don't do it. Peeps, drop your tyres. You go through here with like 35 PSI, it's like pizza cutters. You're not going to get traction. For this sort of stuff, it's kind of like, well, for my tyres, probably 15 PSI will get me through. So, a couple of things to think about in mud. When you go through mud like this, or when it's deeper and you're getting your brakes all wet, your brakes aren't going to work on the other side of the hill. So have a think about that in case you need brakes to do a sharp turn at the end of your little mud rut. Alright, see these lugs in the tyres here? If they get all clogged up with mud, they can just turn into slicks. You'll get no traction whatsoever. So just a bit of a tromp on the throttle every now and then, get a full revolution. It'll throw all that mud out if it's a good tyre and self-cleans, and that will then allow you to make another bite into the bottom of the rut and keep on moving forward. Alright, know where the air vents are in your car. In a Y62 Patrol, it's right here. So if you go through water or mud, that's going to start infilling into your car. Why do they put air vents there? Well, it's because when you shut the door, they want it to be a nice shut. But, you know, you think, wow, I put a snorkel on my car. However, your car, that'll say the engine, but the car will still fill up with mud because your vent's here. And half the time when you're going through mud or water or getting out of it, your car's tipped up. My water line's been here before, and that's exactly what happened. They filled up with mud. Hope you've enjoyed what not to do when 4-wheel driving in mud. I do these vids all the time, so check out the rest of my channel. If you've seen one, maybe 2 of my videos, press that subscribe button. And I always like to look forward to speaking to you on Y62 Patrol Modified Action Facebook group. Go and check that out. Heaps of information about Y62s. See ya on YouTube. Yeah.